What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the deliciously dank Dr. Disaster. And if I had to make a prediction about what to expect with Marathon in the wake of their closed alpha test, it's that they will push back the release date of the game from September, a few months at least, and it will likely come out after the turn of the year because they should understand that they will not do well in the competitive autumn months.
Abandon your post! Flee for your lives!
Of course, I could be wrong. After all, my prediction hinges on the people making decisions for Bungie having sanity, and that isn't necessarily a sure thing considering the asinine choices that led them to Marathon in the first place. The footage we've seen has not helped this game make any strides. It turns out it's just not wise to take a beloved old shooter about fighting aliens from decades ago and transform it into an extraction shooter with ugly aesthetics that are not at all reminiscent of the original games, therefore ensuring they aren't drawing anyone in with nostalgia, and then, to top it all off, asking $40 for it, which is the presumed price for Marathon. Meanwhile, most competitors are free. Seeing all of these design choices for the game has had me wondering a very particular question about Bungie.
Are you retarded?
Just a little bit.
Anyhow, one of the most alarming things for this closed alpha test is that they are not keeping players engaged. If you look at the Steam charts for the game, you can see that the player count for the alpha spiked right when it came out on the 23rd of April, which was a Wednesday, but players have steadily dropped off every day since, including the weekend, where player engagement should have reached its max.
That's not gone well.
Engagement for this game has been so pathetic, in fact, that Marathon has been caught faking engagement to make it seem like at least someone is loving this game. They retweeted one of their own employees, acting like he's a content creator because he appears to be one of the few people online that's even pretending to have any enthusiasm for this turd. It is just so disheartening to constantly feel, as gamers, like virtually every company that we encounter in the industry is ridiculous and stupid.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. The first part of the novel that I've written, a dark fantasy story called The Darkest Heritage, is now available in audiobook format for members only. The book itself will be ready to purchase on Amazon in the near future, but in the meantime, if you want to support alternatives to mainstream crap like what we're seeing with Marathon, then consider becoming a member of the channel for as little as $5 a month, and look for the book when it releases. But alright, let's talk about Marathon and what the bozos at Bungie did to fake engagement and enthusiasm. As J Viper on X posted, he said, "It got so bad for Marathon that they are retweeting their founder like he's a content creator, trying to create false hype. After one day of the alpha, 2/3 jumped off the game and no one was watching it on Twitch at the end. This game is DOA without major renovation to characters and gameplay." But if you look here at this image that was included in Jay's post, you can see what he's talking about. This is an image of someone saying, "I need more Marathon game lore injected into my veins right now, please." And then, in the upper left of that image, you can see that the official Marathon X account reposted what this guy said. And who is this guy that they reposted? Well, if you look at the X profile of Tim Active Ferreira, it says he is the Marathon founder, for cripe's sake. He works for Bungie, but you wouldn't know it from the way that he phrased this tweet here. It makes it seem like he's just some random content creator. This is one of the most desperate and pathetic looking things I have seen in a long while, and we have seen some pretty desperate gaming companies out there. But the thing is, you know it's gotten pretty bad when even the likes of game journalist Paul Tassi is saying that Marathon is cooked and needs to be delayed. This article is from Tassi in Forbes, and it says here, Marathon is now on its 6th day of its closed alpha, the test featuring tens of thousands of players, with many more than that still waiting to be let in. But even as new codes have been issued and more are coming today, over this incredibly short period of time, interest has dropped dramatically, now less than 25% of what it was on launch day, the numbers falling each consecutive day, even over the weekend when those figures would normally surge. That may change with more codes issued today, but again, we already had one wave of that and it didn't change this trajectory. This, plus experiencing the game myself for close to 20 hours now, comes to one conclusion. Marathon is not ready for release in just 5 months. It needs way more time to cook, as they say. Now, I've got to say, it feels unusual to see a game journalist talking some sense. Granted, he's not speaking in blunt truth bombs in the way he ought to be. For example, he makes it sound like there's hope for the game if the developers just take a few months or a year or something to upgrade it. He's not acknowledging the fact that the fundamental concept of Marathon is just foolish and broken beyond repair. But at least he is acknowledging that in 5 months, when the game is supposed to come out, it is in no position to compete with all the other games coming out in that time period, including Borderlands 4, Ghost of Yotai, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, or Lost Soul aside, just to name a few. And Tassi actually kinda refutes himself in the next paragraph or so by saying, now, I'm going to stop you right there. You're about to say, well, this is an alpha. Don't you know what an alpha is? But the expectation I'm seeing from this group are too high. People are mixing up what being an alpha is compared to a preview alpha. I'm even hearing people citing the GTA 6 leaks as some sort of evidence that gamers don't understand development. Generally that is true, but if you think this current closed alpha is comparable to leaked years-old footage of an in-development game, that is not what that is. Bungie has already told us what's coming: visual polish, sandbox balancing, new gear, 2 new heroes, 1 new map. If you think there's some secret 50% of the game that Bungie isn't talking about that's coming for launch, I have some bad news. Yeah, Marathon is screwed. Basically, it's Concord screwed, because once again, a Sony game is making roughly the same mistakes that they did with that stinker. Granted, it isn't as bad as the likes of Concord, but it ain't good to be asking $40 for an ugly looking game when the competition is mostly free. Hopefully they get the message after this thing bombs, but I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery of these pathetic dingleberries at Bungie into the comment section below, and we will have some laughs there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.